All right, let's talk about the shop today. Shout out to Zeri for requesting this one. My buddy Zeri, fellow content creator. We're going to talk about what to do and what not to do in the shop. Now, this is kind of nuanced to a degree because it's going to depend on a few things. It's going to depend on your priorities as a player. It's going to depend on your spending level. It's going to depend on a few things. So I'll do my best to make it all as clear as possible as we go through and talk about all the different tabs in the shop. Now, the number one priority, without question, in the entire shop is in the Glory tab, in the Arena tab. You have to buy this Devilmon every week. I'm gonna probably continue to say this in videos moving forward. This is by far the top priority in the shop. You have to buy this. Four Devilmons a month for just playing a little bit of Arena. It's really not hard. I think it's 150 glory points. That is not hard to get if you're just doing your rivals every day, and you don't even have to fight other real players for it. They've made Arena so much easier to get into in that way. Make sure you're at least getting enough glory points every week to buy this Devilmon. If you don't do anything else, if you never open the shop for any other reason, open it to get this Devilmon. That is your number one priority, okay? So having said that, I wanted to make sure I get that out just in case the viewership drops off at a certain point. Everybody needs to hear that part. The rest of this, it's not as quite as crucial. Now, in the normal tab, somebody just pulled a dragon. Congrats on the dragon. And it's a Zyros. I've been playing this game since 2015, and I've never... I pulled a dragon once. I created an account on the China server for, I think it was some free-to-play thing I was going to do. And I pulled a Zyros, was my first Nat 5 there, but I never really got to play the account. I never played it, so... Technically, I've pulled one, but never on one of my actual accounts. Anyway, I digress. There's going to be a huge temptation to spend crystals on these packs to get more summons, especially in the early game when the game is showering you with crystals. You're going to have so many crystals that you're going to think, I've got so many. And maybe you might even be thinking as a newer player, this is what the crystals are for. It's not. You see, I've bought 2 of these. I'm a moderate spender, and I'm a content creator. So when I do summon videos, I try to scoop up any extra scrolls I can get. So sometimes I'll throw some crystals into these. These are expensive, okay? These are very pricey, and your crystals can do much more for you if you don't do this. Especially in today's state of the game, it's giving you so much more than it used to. Premium packs used to be kind of important. You used to have to kind of manage your crystals in a way where you made sure you had enough to use for energy refills, but also you occasionally kind of needed premium packs because there just weren't a lot of scrolls available to you. So you had to buy these on occasion and hope to pull something good. Now there's scrolls everywhere. The game is just constantly dropping scrolls on you. Not as important to grab these anymore. So if you have an insane surplus of crystals, or you're spending money and you're not too concerned about your crystal balance and you want more scrolls, then sure, come in here and buy these. But especially if you're closer to free-to-play or free-to-play, try to avoid these. These are, more often than not, only going to give you 11 pieces of food and some Angelmon. You know what I mean? Sure, it's a slot machine. Think of it like that. You are rarely going to win. You are rarely going to come out positive on this. So just understand that going in, okay? These as well, I think 1,300 is too much for that. I don't know why 10 of these is supposed to be more valuable than 11 of these. My understanding, they're the same rates. It's just a smaller pool. So I don't think these are worth 1,300. I think maybe it's because they're new that they're like that. I don't really know. I don't know what the deal is there, but don't bother with that. Free rune removal. The game has given me one. I think as a newer player, everybody's going to get one that I'm sitting on. I guess if you need it later down the line, sure. But I guess I also don't know if they're still doing the monthly rune removal or if they've just added this and you just do it whenever you want to do it now. It used to be a monthly occurrence, and then they added these, and I think there were these and the monthly occurrence. I don't know if they're still doing the monthly free rune removal. I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. But either way, that's probably worth it if you really need to move some runes around outside of your new player period. I think I'm still in my new player period, so it's not charging me to move runes around. but eventually it will start charging you to move runes around, so that'll be pretty necessary. XP boost, if you're farming food, you have to have an XP boost. So if you don't have one, these are well worth it, okay? Probably a good idea to just pop the 200 and take the 3-day. These are well worth it, all right? I don't know if that's worth it, honestly. I haven't used these very heavily yet, so maybe it's worth it. These, I would craft these. I would avoid this for the crystals and craft them. And real quick, I'll show you what that means. In the crafting building, if you go to the Others tab, you can craft a secret dungeon here of any particular element for not really too many resources. 3 mids, 10 lows, and some magic dust. And if you're farming your affinity dungeons with any regularity, you're going to have plenty of that. I would use them here rather than 100 crystals to open up a secret dungeon, okay? You might as well grab these if you're using them. And then I don't ever bother with any of those. Okay. Now, the cash shop. This is really what your crystals are ultimately for, is energy refills. It might not feel like it right now, but you are eventually going to run out of energy. Now, we've got a really nice event going right now. That's why I have so much energy. You're probably not going to run out of energy during the event, but when there's not an event like this going on, you may run out of energy. Hard to know. I just got back about a month ago. I don't know what the state of the game is like. I ran out of energy once early on when I was still trying to complete the event. This event. But once you complete it, I mean, here's just 200 energy every day for borderline nothing. Once you complete the event, though, and the only thing you need your codices for are these down here, you can just come in here and, you know, I've probably done this. I've probably done over 200 of these. So that's 200 times 30 energy. I'm not going to run out of energy during this event. It's not going to happen, okay? But again, when something like this is not going on, maybe the energy is a little bit tighter. Haven't experienced it for now, but that's ultimately what crystals used to be for, okay? I think this is probably pretty worth it, especially if you're in a hurry. You're trying to get a lot of monsters to aid. I ran out of Dimensional Hole energy once, and it gave me a $10 pack to refill it. I think that was worth it as well if you're a spender. And then here, I think this is probably pretty worth it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm creeping up on probably doing it soon. And then stay away from these. Don't bother with any of that, okay? And then these as well, stay away from. I think these are here for the whaliest of the whales. There is almost always a pack available that has more value in it than these do, okay? I think these are your last resort if you're a whale and you've bought every other pack that's popped up for you. A lot of the $100 packs that come out right now are going to have more crystals than this on top of scrolls and all kinds of other stuff. For example, this is $100 for a Transcendent Scroll, a Blessing, a 6-star set of runes, 10 reappraisal stones, 1,000 crystals, and then an extra 2,250 crystals peppered in over 15 days. Okay, there's just immensely more value in these kinds of packs than there is in that shop. So when you need crystals, get them from these packs, okay? I mean, here, we're talking $2,250 total for $50 on top of the rest of the stuff you're getting in the packs. So stay out of there. Don't buy crystals from there ever. I can't imagine why anyone, other than the superest of the super whales, and even then, if you're buying all those other packs, why do you need crystals? You're not out of crystals, okay? So stay out of here. Don't buy anything from there. Ancient Coin and Ancient Crystal we'll talk about later. That's not something you're going to be worrying about if you're watching this video. You're not really accumulating any of these right now in the early game. So that's not really important. And I don't really know where to focus. I think probably we're going to start with like these 3 champs. I would imagine it's some variation of these 3 champs. They give you Fran now. I don't know what Dark Cowgirl has going on, and I don't know who this is. But I think it's these 3 are priority. And then later down the line, it's probably just reappraisal stones that you're going to want to be spending on. And then in here, I don't know. I don't know yet. For the building tab, the Summoner's Way missions, I believe, are going to walk you through purchasing all of these. So just do it as the missions have you do it. All right. It's pretty much going to give you what you need to buy them. That's fine. And then the rest of these is all cosmetic stuff. Totally your preference. Totally your call. Glory tab. Excuse me. That was weird. The glory tab on the arena part, the Devilmon we've talked about. Beyond that, all of this stuff is probably going to seem kind of tempting as a new player because we all love to summon. That's never going to go away. But after the Devilmon, this is where you want to spend your time. This is what you want to be doing. Everything in here boosts your account in all areas of the game. These buildings do not only apply to Arena. They help you in every PvP setting, every PvP setting, every PvE setting, and every PvP setting. Did I say that right the first time? It's a complete boost to your entire account everywhere in the game. They are incredibly necessary and expensive. so some important ones to focus. Sanctum of Energy increases your max storage. This used to be much more important because back in the day when you spent crystals on energy, it just refilled your energy. It didn't give you a set amount like it does now. So it used to be really important to max this out before you started using crystals for energy refills, because every time you did it and this wasn't maxed out, you were wasting, you know what I mean? You were not getting the maximum amount of energy you could have been getting. So it used to be way more important. Still pretty important though. You want to max that energy out quickly. This one increases how quickly your energy refills. This used to be quite a bit more important. I don't think it's as important these days, especially while this event's going on. Again, I have not even been remotely close to being at my energy cap. Even I've been thousands of energy up for a lot of the event. So probably something to focus on, but maybe not right away. Now, the totems that give you stat bonuses, these are where it starts to get kind of interesting, okay? You've got all these different totems that give you different stat bonuses. Here, you can boost your elemental stats, attack. You can do your arcane towers in Arena. You know, you build those towers that attack the defense. Now, the priorities in here, as far as the stat goes, are the Sky Tribe totem. Getting that speed up on everyone is going to make your life a lot easier. I started leveling up my attack one kind of early because I was trying to get Lucian working in a Giants team, but it's too early for that for me. I wouldn't worry too much about attack. The crit damage one can be pretty important, but again, I think it's kind of important later on. I think your top priority is still speed. You do want the Guardstone, but it's going to be later. It's my understanding that the Guardstone is really important for the Trikaru team, because it's very stat heavy, but you also have to consider you have to get 3 fully maxed second awakened water Inugamis and farm the gear. So we're talking later down the line. This is not something you're going to accomplish in the first few weeks of playing the game. So if you want to pepper a few points into it, go ahead, but it's something that's going to be important later on. Now, it is going to take a while to max, so maybe, start on it. Don't start on it when you start building the team. Don't wait that long. But I don't think it's necessarily the first one you want to put points into either. The speed totem is pretty important. It's going to make your life a lot easier in all content. If you're getting a speed bump on all your monsters everywhere you go, that's pretty helpful. So I would say the speed totem is the first priority. Apparently the Guardstone has become a lot more important than it used to be. Crit damage is pretty important a little bit later down the line as well. And then these elemental attack towers, those are for later. For now, we're worrying about the functionality of all of our monsters, and then you can start to focus in on certain elements. Okay, so Sanctum of Energy is very important. Sky Tribe Totem is very important. Guardstone is very important. And I think those are probably your 3 priorities in the early game, all right? World Arena, probably not something you need to worry about right now. World Arena is very tough, and I think a lot of this stuff is preference. I will probably be focusing transmog points when I do start doing RTA and getting points. I'm pretty into the transmogs, but I don't think it's really a matter of being super efficient here. I think it's whatever you want. League, I don't really know. And then Guild, I like to buy the Rainbow Mon. Some people might not like that. I think it's pretty handy. You do want to start focusing your Ifrit pieces as soon as possible, though. Okay, so again, these scrolls are going to be tempting. Don't worry about the scrolls for now. I think you want to go ahead and start getting a few Ifrits under your belt. It's only going to let you do 5 a week, so if you max that out, then you can think about the Rainbow Mon. And you can also start thinking about these. These are like the towers for the arena, except these only apply to guild wars, okay? Guild content. So attack, crit damage, HP, and defense. These are going to be pretty important as you progress through guild content. It's going to help you out a lot. And then they're going to be, if you start wanting to compete at like high level siege, they're going to be mandatory that you have these done, okay? So these are very important. And the Ifrits are very important. And I like the 5-star Rainbow Mon. It's your call. Stay away from these for a long time. It's going to be a long time before you can justify spending points on these scrolls, okay? Ifrits, Rainbow Mon, flags. That's your priority here. These are all money packs. I'm not really going to talk much about money packs in this. If you guys want me to do a video talking about money packs, we can do a separate one, but I don't think that's necessary for this one. Overall, anyway. I'll go ahead and talk about this one since the event shop's live, and that's when this video is probably going to do most of its views is while this event's still live. I think everything in here is worth it, is the short answer. I will probably even buy these when it's all said and done. I will probably finish up all these. When this weekly one pops up, I think they're all worth it for 100 crystals each. I think everything in here is worth it. Again, this is a slot machine. It's going to be your call, and everybody's going to have a different experience. Some people are going to spend some crystals in here and think it went amazing, and some people are not. You can watch. I think Jubagel did a video a few days ago where he was in someone's account, and they had him spend 15,000 crystals on lucky magic boxes. So you can go watch that video and gauge how that went and decide. Again, I think if you're a spender and you've got a huge surplus of crystals, have some fun. Otherwise, this is the last thing you should be doing in this entire tab. I think you need to get the scrolls. I think you need to get this for sure. This is probably the first thing to buy is the Evo scroll. But there's everything in here, in my opinion, was worth it. So Evo scroll, top priority. Beyond that, buy them in whatever order you want to buy them. But I would say buy them all. I think they're all pretty well worth it. Okay. As far as I know, these are all money packs. And then the limited stuff, again, I think that's also a lot of like money packs and stuff. So that's a quick run through of just the entire shop. I hope this was helpful. It's kind of hard to gauge how helpful this is going to be. If you take nothing else away from the video, take that away. Buy your Devilmon every time it's available. Make sure you're at least farming enough glory every week to buy that Devilmon. I recommend that you never. I'm committing the cardinal sin right here. I'm on full arena invitations. You should never be on full arena invitations. Get in there and use your arena invitations. And again, it's so much easier to do now because you have this guy who never goes on cooldown. So if you can't find people you can beat in here, or you're still kind of intimidated at the prospect of going against real people, fight your rivals and then just use all your fights on Amir. You're not going to lose a fight to Amir. He's not difficult. I'm fairly certain that his teams don't have runes. So it's scary. They're scary looking teams, but he's never even almost beaten me. So never be sitting on full arena wings. I'm breaking the rules right now. So that's it. Hope it was helpful. If anybody has anything they want to throw in the comments down below, I would appreciate it, as I'm sure some other newer players would. Other than that, I'm getting out of here. Appreciate y'all watching. See you later.